Activision dropped a surprise patch on us where they nerfed the AMAX, AK, and HDR, but they also buffed the krig C and the C9. We're going to take a look at what that does to the layout of the meta and how it all affects it. When it comes to the nerf on the HDR, Activision reduced flinch resistance, standard, and to the heavy and combat stocks, making it more difficult for campers to sit on top of buildings and just eat AR rounds. They didn't touch the damage range, still making it the one shot to the head at any range on the map. So that is still going strong. Builds haven't changed on the HDR at all. If you want to run a 5 attachment overkill, you still got your monolithic. Gain twist barrel to get extra bullet velocity because damage range doesn't matter with the infinite one-shot headshot range. Lightweight bipod and target laser to reduce the aiming sway, and overpressured rounds again for that extra bullet velocity with the infinite one-shot headshot range. If you want to go gunfighter on your HDR, I'd add the Fast Mag 1, quick draw grip, heavy stock, help give you some of that flinch resistance, extra over base, but it's not going to be as big of a difference as it was before this nerf. Number 5 for me in the long range is the DM10, Return of the DMR, if you will. It's a great option if you're on mouse and key. Does a real good job in that kind of up to about 50 meters. Once you start getting further out though, it does drop off very quickly and the TTK rises quite a lot once you get out at that 100-meter range, past about low to mid 50s. Build for the DM10, I prefer a slightly higher optic on this type of a build. There are some people running some reflexes you figure out works best for you. I prefer something like the Willis 3X, maybe the Jason Armory 2. Just depends on how I'm feeling, whether I'm playing rebirth, that type of idea. Compensator, reinforced barrel. I like the lightweight handguard to help with some of the idle sway, and that buffer weight stock is a must on this build to help keep the recoil under control. 5th in the close range for me is an oldie buddy goodie, one we've been running for a while, the KSV. Recoil's fairly straight up, easy to control, nothing too out of the ordinary here. Solid in that 10 to 15 meter range, good movement. My only complaint are the irons have that little bit of blocking there to the side. I find that just a little, not the best, but other than that, solid option and very usable right at the top of that 600 millisecond TTK. Wouldn't want to go too far past that when it comes to the TTK side of things. Build for the KSV really has not changed. Compensator, reinforced barrel. I'm liking the vertical foregrip on mine. You can go Ranger if you want a little more speed. Don't need quite as much help with some recoil. Then a Mag 2, ergonomic grip. Great, solid, all-around build. Number 4 for me in the long range is the Kilo. As a Rebirth main, its deficiencies are not nearly as glaring as they are in the big map. Shoots straight as a beam. And those deficiencies with the damage range on Rebirth especially are not nearly as glaring. And for me, this reload speed is just phenomenal. Build for the Kilo, I don't think you need to go gunfighter on it at all. There's such little recoil on it and easy enough to solve for just with 5 attachments. Run the optic of your choice. Compensator to help with a bit of the side-to-side movement to it. Long barrel will help you out with some damage range because it does have the shortest damage range from ARs like we were saying before, but it has the highest bullet velocity, so there isn't as need to solve for that with this one. Extended Mag 2 gets you that 60 round and that fast reload. I think going to the 80 just doesn't make any sense with how much longer it takes to reload. And then you can get some of that extra bullet velocity as well with the overpressured rounds. And there's no need for an underbarrel. You don't need the vertical on this with how little it moves. Number 4 on the close range for me is the compact. It is one of my favorites, but it takes some getting used to. The recoil does hop a bit more than some of the other ones. It is up, but there is a bit more of it than on a lot of the other options. Aim assist, though, does help quite a bit with that. It is the fastest killing close range option there is, and you move quite well with it. It just does tend to bleed through ammo. So taking on multiple opponents can be a little more challenging with it. Build for the compact, I'm really liking the integrated suppressor for the barrel. It gets you both damage range and bullet velocity and keeps you off the mini. I know it does prevent you from using a compensator, and like we were saying before, this does have a bit more recoil than some of the other ones, but when you match it with the vertical foregrip, go extended mag 2 on it, ergonomic grip, you can then use the recoil springs to help minimize that recoil that we were talking about earlier on this guy. And I just think the combination of the bullet velocity, damage range, and that integrated suppressor solves so much and makes this phenomenal. The number 3 long range wise for me is going to be the Grau conversion kit on the SWAT 5.56. Very minimal recoil on it. It does have a bit better range than the Kilo, which is nice. With a similar TTK, the Kilo is slightly faster inside 40 meters. The Grau has much better TTK past that 40 meter range. They did a real good job of replicating the Archangel barrel that we remember from Warzone 1. For me anyway, it does start to get a little more difficult up past about that 40-50 meter range with the irons. I'm just not as good with them on my long range builds. But that does make it great on Rebirth. Build for the Grau, I'm going to switch away from the monolithic suppressor on it over to the compensator because there have been some FPS issues on PC anyway. I'm not sure about console when running the monolithic on the Grau. So I'm going to use the compensator, pick myself up a little bit more recoil control. Although there isn't a ton on this one, I think it's just a better fit with those FPS issues that are being caused. Vertical foregrip, because you can't pick a barrel of any kind on this one, help with a little bit of the side to side. Extended mag full auto, only option again. I prefer the ergonomic grip myself. And then the Grau conversion is the last one as well. Third place for me in the close range is going to be the SOG. It's been a top choice for the last while now and is a great option in close range. I find it a little more difficult than some of the other ones to use once you get out past about 15 meters. That's probably more of a me skill issue than it is anything to do with the gun though. But a wonderful option with good movement, high damage, and a wonderful good load, one of the lower TTKs for the close range options. Build on the SOG's been consistent for quite a while now. Running the compensator to help with some of that recoil. We saw that severe right earlier. Long barrel to give it a little bit more damage range. Vertical foregrip again to help with that side to side and the horizontal control. Extended mag 2 and the ergonomic. So for me, number 2 in the long range is going to be the AMAX. I think the reduction they made to the headshot multiplier, increase to ADS and sprint to fire times are enough to kind of push it out of the number 1 spot. It still has great recoil, bit of a hop to it, but nothing crazy, and traditionally just straight up there. Still a beam, easy to use. It's the multipliers where it comes, and the ADS and sprint to fire changes are where this got hurt and got pushed out of the meta a bit, I believe. Build for the AMAX has stayed very consistent. Optic of your choice, compensator. I prefer the reinforced barrel for the combination of bullet velocity and damage range. Vertical foregrip, extended mag 2. If you'd like to run a gunfighter build on big map, or on Rebirth for that matter, either way, I'm going to add the quick draw grip, the heavy stock to help with some flinch, and the recoil springs just to make this thing an absolute. Number 2 in the close range for me is the new one, the Ladra. Great option. I like it a little more than the compact as another fast firing option. And the recoil is not nearly as severe as the compact. I just find it easier to control than the compact. And a little easier to use at slightly longer ranges than the compact and the SOG. And with its TTK being just behind the compact, I think it makes a real solid option, and I don't think you can go wrong with either this or the number 1 choice. When it comes to the Ladra, compensator to help with some recoil, long barrel to help get you a bit more range on it, vertical foregrip, extended mag 1, and ergonomic grip. I don't like the cons on extended mag 2 for the 11 rounds of ammo you get when it comes to add ADS penalties and sprint to fire. I just don't think they're worth it. For me, the new king of the long range is the Krig C. They increased the medium damage range and the headshot multiplier. They also added some bullet velocity to it. And the nice thing that they really did was the biggest change is they helped reduce the recoil, which was holding it back significantly. You can see it's a lot easier to control now and a lot more in line with some of the other meta choices, making it a lot easier to hit your shots, which was the downside to this was that recoil pattern that the krig had before. And it's now become the top choice for the pros. Build for the C9, it's going to be whatever optic you like. Again, I'm rocking the Dobrik compensator. Long barrel on this one to help with the damage range. Vertical foregrip, extended mag chew, I think on this one. Pros outweigh the cons. If you wanted to run a gunfighter build for the krig, I'd throw on the quick draw grip to help with some of that ADS speed, balance stock, and just to clean it up just a little bit, some recoil springs. If you're a bit of a higher skilled player, you could opt for overpressured instead of the recoil springs. Whatever works best for you. The top choice in the close range is once again the C9. The MP5, we all know. It's got the familiar recoil pattern, very easy to control, basically vertical. But they went ahead and increased the damage profile of it. So now you no longer have that in-between profile that we were having at the beginning of this season, where if you hit a stomach or leg shot, 2 of them, you would jump a significant amount and have a much slower TTK than if you didn't. So it makes it a much more consistent, easier to use choice. C9 build really has not changed. Compensator, reinforced barrel, vertical foregrip, extended mag chew, ergonomic grip. If you were looking for a bit more movement, you could drop the compensator, say go to the balance stock. I prefer it with the compensator myself, but again, this is going to be a personal preference, feelings for you thing. It's not going to affect your GTK, whatever you'd rather do. What's your favorite loadout since this latest surprise patch came out? Let us know down in the comments. And please, if you happen to like the video, find it helpful, please remember to like the video. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the meta changes to the game itself, or anything else coming along with Call of Duty and Warzone, please subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss the next videos. As always, keep the energy high, vibes positive, and until next time, spread the love. We'll catch you in the next one.